Here's the song Climb Now in its entirety.
No, quit.
Pull up.
Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Saint Golden, and I just came out with my brand new album, Bouncy Spiky. And everybody's favorite song appears to be Climb Now. A lot of people's favorite song appears to be Climb Now. So I thought it'd be fun to go through the project and figure out how I made it. I have things that are chained all over the place for the mix, but a lot of these mix options here make soloing some of the tracks more annoying than it needs to be. So to make my life a little easier, I'm going to actually put the filters and the things over on the top, so that way it'll be easier for me to work with as we go. A lot of fun. So let's start from the fun sound effects, right? This little sound effect here.
Pull up.
That little pull up. This is actually from a YouTube video of actual planes going down, like the sounds of them, like what it would sound like if, for training stuff and, for actual like diagnostics. This is what a plane would sound like if it was going down. It's pretty fun, I think, and pretty spooky. So this sound.
Pull up.
And a lot of the other ones I just kind of like ripped from YouTube and stole piecemeal.
Be going down like how come every time you come around.
Sorry, that's all. I forgot it's all part of the same file. So funny enough, I went and used Audacity. I basically just used it in the way I'm using it here, which is I'm recording straight from the system, right? So if I hit this.
No, quit.
You're noticing that it records straight from my system. The setup for it's pretty straightforward. it ends up being a situation where you do Windows Audio Sound API or Wasapi, and then you put the recording device as your listening device. So for me, my headphones are my recording device. And so I basically end up just using it that way and getting a lot of mileage for my samples. Super big tip, in my opinion. I love using that as a way to just kind of, it's kind of like the modern day equivalent of keeping a tape, on a radio and just getting ready to press the button to make your mixtape. It's kind of an older thing, but it's a modern day version of that, which I think is wonderful. Anyways, so I did that for both the initial Fergie sample and the sample for the Plans Going Down, which is just two different YouTube videos effectively. This pad here, I'm a really big fan of it. I'll solo it. It's from a Noisia sample pack. Big fan of that one. And of course these 808s I stole from like some kind of I think it was like a Metro Boomin pack or something, which by themselves sound like this. Stretched out super far, very intense sounding, love it. So this is the chop also down here. You'll notice it's the same exact audio file. I should have bounced this like 10 different times, and I didn't for whatever reason. But your loss is my gain, or my loss is your gain, because, here's the actual chop down here. So this is just one chop, and I'm basically breaking it up into little pieces, and I individually had more sections here, but played around with it and muted the sections that didn't work, ultimately coming up with this effect. The chain on the actual, of course, for the audio, for the vocals, how much affecting I did. Funny enough, all I really did is just throw a pretty intense little compressor on it and throw a little filter on it. And the filter is basically a glorified low pass. So it's low pass, it's compressed to all hell, and then that's kind of it. And then, yeah, that's kind of how that chop works. You'll see how it's here throughout most of the song, comes back a few times. It's mostly the same, but the chops change a little bit, which is fun too. Speaking of, here's this part, the actual main sort of drum break. It's also a Noisia drum break that I cut up with SliceX. But you'll notice that it's kind of off time here. Do. It's kind of like, it sounds a little bit of a stutter effect. That's because it plays off of the sub break that I also built out, which is here. These are just kind of bigger drums. So that's why I remember this now. So the pattern down here, this one, there's a reason why it doesn't work, and it's because it's over here first, right? I put a phaser on it, and then it cuts out to the main drum break. But the phaser I threw on this one, this used to be like the main break. You could see it kind of everywhere. And I ended up basically throwing it away in favor of using the other one. It's also not based on the same thing. It's a different kind of instrumental. I think this one came from a different spot, but largely through the revisions, it started as a different drum break completely. I think I moved it over to an Amen break, and it just didn't sound right. Ultimately, I found one that had like the big tones I was looking for, and then chopped it up from there. And what else was going on in this track? That's the majority of it. A lot of these sound effects are come from very specific spots. Oh yeah, This section's kind of a nightmare. At some point, I rapped on this song. You won't hear it. I'm not going to show it to you. But I did rap on it, and I layered my voice a few times and had some different takes on things. It was for the original submission to a beat battle when I made the song originally. But then from there, I ended up going through and replacing it with this kind of chopped up guitar sample, which I think is fun, but still, here, check it out. Oh, right, I muted it. My bad. Now, check it out. I don't hate that. It's actually from a TikTok of a guy playing a guitar through like a toy speaker set or something. I think it's fun. But it had like too much of a surf rock feel, and it matched the beat too well. And so I was like, I hate this. And so this song in this whole album, honestly, almost didn't happen because I just couldn't solve this one spot. And so I ended up calling up Stingray. I hit him up on Discord. I was like, Stingray, who's the guitarist and for a lot of different other parts, and I'm listening to his samples he gave me of like some of his work, and one of them was like really distorted. I'm like, Stingray, you gotta record something for this part. I'm dying here. I can't figure out this part. It's killing me. And so it leads in with like a little New York City subway chime, and I had just reversed it on the way out of the sample with a little blast and one more kind of plain sample, and a lot of these just kind of come together and do the job, right? And so this is where you get the final result of with the drum break. It goes and there's a little Easter egg here that I'll show you as a reward for watching the rest of or the whole thing here. Also, this is a Slim Shady turntable sample. I was so glad I got to use this. You hear it a few times in the track. It goes, oh, whoops, I guess you don't go. Hold on. Yeah, the the classic noise. But yeah, there's even a little sound bed here. Some people might have heard it, but I don't think anyone's actually told me about it at all. But it's from an old YouTube video where a guy shoots a UFO with a pistol and goes, "Not today, motherfucker!" and it gets me every time. So I buried it deep into the track here. It's so quiet compared to everything else. So if I unmute everything, here it is in context. It's so funny. It's like it's right after such a big climactic moment of like the plane goes down, it's crashing, and then you hear nothing, and then you hear the wooka wooka, and then it goes right back to it. But then like listen to, you can hear it if you pay attention a little bit. Like it goes. I think that's so funny. I think it's so funny. And then, yeah, from all that, here is a little bit of that earlier guitar solo that I chopped up, and I ended up using it for the end just because I thought it was cute. Here's by itself. Fun, right? Fun explosion sound, and these beeps are actually funny enough from F-Zero for the SNES, the original game F-Zero. I think it was like a starting line noise or like a crash out noise. I don't remember. It was like some small noise in it, and cause my friend was playing it at the time, and I was like, I gotta use that. So I get him to repeat it, and I pulled straight from the audio feed. It's funny, I even named it Beeps F-Zero, just instead of just spelling out zero. But anyways, yeah, that's the majority of it. And I really am glad that you stuck around and saw the whole piece come together. If you like this, go buy the album if you want to. And until then, otherwise, thanks so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. A little behind the scenes action. But yeah, this is a track that, because this came together, the rest of the thing came together. And that means I got to share this with you. So really, really big fan of that. Thanks so much again. This is the part where I reload the file. Don't save it, because I don't know what I just did to it.